supposed to be eating. It's not good to be eating. That's why people got all kind of sicknesses. Eating things that the Lord warned you not to eat. Don't you think the Lord know what everything is about that he created? So he gave you a heads up. Look, you can eat that one, don't eat that one. Eat that one, don't eat that one. And you're getting sick, getting high blood pressure, and dying. Even the doctors tell people you should leave pork alone. Well, a lot of times, by that time, it'd be too late. He says, unclean unto you, ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. See, that's when it become unclean, when it's dead. And I ain't seen nobody trying to eat one alive. Go ahead, but they might try that. But go ahead, verse 9.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters.
Now he even give you the fish in the water. Go ahead.
All that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever hath not fins and scales ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you.
See, that's real clear. He gives you the characteristics of the fish. It has to have fins and scales. Got to have both characteristics. If it don't have it, it's unclean. Don't eat it. And the main delicacy that don't have both, of course, is catfish. Well, you got shrimp and lobster and a lot of those things too that's unclean. But the main one still among fish is catfish. And it's not like if you don't eat anything that the Lord is telling us is unclean that you're going to starve for 1 minute. It's not like, because we keeping the dietary law around here and we still putting on plenty pounds, aren't we? Y'all looking at me. Yeah, you right. But go ahead.
Of all clean birds ye shall eat.
Now he giving you the birds, of all clean birds. So he gives you every type of animal that you can eat and that you can't eat, from among the animals that dwell on the earth, from the fish in the sea, and now the birds that fly in the air. He's not missing a beat, is he? See, these are all meats. That's why I don't understand how the people got to the point, we're going to get to that later, how they say you can't eat no meat, but you can eat some fish. See, that's man's tradition, saying you can't eat no meat at times, but you can eat some fish. We're going to get to that. That's what Paul was addressing to Timothy. He wasn't telling you the dietary law was done away with. That wasn't even on his mind. He was telling you about these traditions that people come up with. Just like if somebody want to be a vegetarian, that's fine. That's okay, but that's not a requirement from God that you abstain from all meat. So now he went to the birds. Of all clean birds ye shall eat. Go ahead, verse 12.
But these are they of which ye shall not eat: the eagle, and the osprich, and the osprey.
See, now he started running them down, the birds, which he also called fowls. He started running them down, what you can eat and what you can't eat. He dealt with the fish, what you can eat and what you can't eat. He dealt with the beasts on earth. He laid it all down for you. Well, people don't want to keep none of God's law, let alone this. And they think the New Testament changed this. Look, even when you read Acts the 15th chapter, even when the Gentiles came into the word, because all Jews was dealing with it first under Jesus, and the apostles wasn't but Jews, Israelites. But when they brought the Gentiles in Acts the 15th chapter, they wrote a letter to the Gentiles, even instructed them, look, y'all can't eat anything. Stay away. They mentioned a few things like blood and things strangled, but they still gave them restrictions, but don't nobody want to have no restrictions nowadays, right? Something is wrong with that. But we're going to go to Genesis 7. We're going to go to the beginning, because some people even had the audacity to say the Mosaic law. Oh, see, you keep the Mosaic law. Like Moses was stupid. And here Moses was talking to God face to face. But it's even bigger than Moses. It's been around. I read this to this Gentile one time. He came to the church years ago. And he's the one that told me, well, you ain't got to keep that dietary law. It's, he was just telling Moses to show the people to stay away from swine-like people. He said this. He said, see, that was just telling them, so they know to avoid swine-like people. Now, I mean, obviously he didn't know it was about much more than swine. He gave you a whole litany of animals you could eat and couldn't eat, right? Mm-hmm. From the beast on the earth to the fish in the sea to the birds in the air. But that's what he said. It was about swine-like people. And see, I wish I had my other books. That's what he was, one of them other book persons. I wish I had my other books. See, they never had these books when they weren't supposed to show you something too. I wish I had my other books. I would show it to you. I said, see, that's the problem. You know, people worry about these other books. You don't know what's in this book. And I'm not lying. The Lord is my witness. I flipped over here and said, let's read this, because he wanted to make it about Moses, right? I said, let's read this in Genesis 7. And the boy's eyes got big as you know what when he seen this written in Genesis 7. Because he did not know it was in this book, because he worried about them other books. Genesis 7:1. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
See, now this when Noah was going on the ark way before Moses' time. He was on his way on the ark, and we all heard that Moses went on the ark, him and his children and their wives, and they took the animals, because the Lord wanted to preserve the animals in the earth too. So they took all the animals 2 by 2. We all heard that. And that is partially true. But we're going to get it in detail now. So he going on the ark. Go ahead.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7.
Oh, wait a minute now. You mean way back in Noah's time, way before Moses. Noah understood the dietary law. See, all of God's servants knew his will. That's how they were able to serve him and please him and be righteous. He told Abraham to walk before me and be thou perfect. That means it had to be some criteria how Abraham could do that, right? He said Noah just now. He said Noah was a righteous man. And that's why Noah got grace. Well, it had to be something that Noah was righteous according to, and it's God's holy law. Noah even dealt with God's dietary law according to this, right? Yeah. God told him, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7. So they need to alter that song that the kids sing. They went on the ark, not just 2 by 2, 2 by 2. Some of them went 7 by 7. The clean ones did, because he needed extra clean animals. See, he only needed a male, 1 pig, 2 pigs, a male and a female. He only needed 1 set of those, because he wasn't going to do nothing else with the pigs. He wasn't going to use it for no other purpose. He just took 2 pigs, so that way the pigs could reproduce, and we'll have something today that people can be trying to eat on now, which they don't need to do it. But that's all he took. He took those 2 by 2, the unclean ones. But he said in read verse 2 again.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7. The male and his female.
Oh, but the clean beast God instructed Noah to take by 7s, didn't he? Go ahead.
And of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female.
Oh, but the ones not clean, so he made a distinction, didn't he? Yeah. Only need 2 of these. That means Noah couldn't have no pork chop. It might have been good if he just would have went on ahead and killed one of them. Nah, I can't say that because God didn't want him to do it. But I'm saying at least people couldn't be eating them now because they wouldn't be here. Because there's only 2. If he had took one of them and killed it, they couldn't have reproduced, could they? But see, people got to make that decision on their own like Noah did. He wasn't going to mess with no pork. Jesus didn't eat no pork. Peter and Paul didn't eat no pork. And you think you can pray over it. Go ahead, verse 3.
Of fowls also of the air by 7.
Even the birds, just like it was in the law. But this is way before the law came by Moses, right? Of the fowls of the air by 7s, go ahead.
The male and female.
To do what?
To keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth.
See, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. But he had an abundance of the clean animals. Because even if he ate something, or even if he sacrificed, because you ain't going to even sacrifice no unclean animal to the Lord. Lord he don't like that either. But now let's go further. Go to Romans, the 14th chapter. We're going to get right to the New Testament, because that's what people live at. They want to use that to usurp all that we've read so far. But you still couldn't get around Matthew 5, where Jesus said 1 jot and 1 tittle of the law shall not pass. So that means what we read in Deuteronomy cannot pass, brothers and sisters, till heaven and earth pass. We still got heaven above us, and we walking on the earth. That means not eating swine, and swine being unclean to you is still good, isn't it? But see, people like to read